Hi, I'm Christine Kane, and I'm here at the Bend of Ivy Lodge where I do my Unstoppable Power of Intention retreats. And I'm here today to talk about one of the most popular topics I get asked about, which is vision boards. We do vision boards every single retreat that I do, and they are always a really powerful tool that people use. And I, of course, get lots and lots of questions about them, so I thought I'd make this video to answer some of the common questions people have and to explain how a vision board works and how you can just simply do one on your own. And even though it's great to come to a place like this and come to a retreat, you don't have to. You can just make one on your own and see what manifests in your life and what you create in your life. So the first thing I tell people about vision boards is that there's no right or wrong way that you do them. Because a lot of people get all tied up. They think, well, if I'm now attracting and manifesting and making something here, it has to be perfect. It has to be exactly what I want. And if you've never actually taken the time to ask yourself what you want to bring more of into your life or what you want to attract or create in your life, it might be a little challenging. So you have to give yourself a break. And so I always say, start empty. Start not necessarily knowing. Maybe there are a few things that you know, but remember that this is a tool. And one of the cool things about it is that it can change and it can evolve and it can grow. And some people actually do theirs on corkboard so they can change it all the time. Now here at the women's retreats I do, we do it on poster board just because it's a great activity and it's a great place to start. And I would say I've heard from probably about 50 different women that everything on their boards has manifested within 1 year of creating that board. So I do know that it is a powerful tool. So the best way to start is probably different than what you might think. Okay, so one of the first things that you should know about vision boards is that whereas it's tempting to just jump right in and start in and think you know exactly what you want and you know what images you want to find, one of the best places to start is actually even before you start cutting and pasting and grabbing a poster board. It's really about starting from within. And this is why I think the vision boards that we create at the Unstoppable Power of Intention retreats are so powerful, is because we take a full day and a half before the vision boards even start to look at intention. And the idea of intention is a profound one. It's about where you're going now, what you want to call into your life next, and really asking it from a deeper place than just, okay, yeah, I want to have kids, or I want to get a new job, or whatever, but what is it you want to be, do, and have? And that's the order you want to think of it in. In your perfect and right life, who are you being? And that's not what are you being, it's who are you being. And what are you doing comes after you figure out, or figure out's actually the wrong word there, so scratch that. So it's actually a deeper thing than figuring out. Who are you being is that deeper soul part of you talking. And who you are being is the starting point for everything. Because a lot of people start with doing. They think of their vision boards and they're like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to have this, I'm going to have this. And they take their heart and soul out of the picture. So you want to start with, who am I being in my perfect and right and effortless and abundant life? And start there, and then move on to, in my perfect and right and effortless life, what am I doing? And let it sort of flow naturally from that being place, because that's where you're going to find the activities that are truly aligned with who you are. And then, in my perfect and effortless life, what do I have? What do I want to have in my existence? So when you start with those questions, I always say start with a journal writing activity. Get quiet, get clear. Don't launch right into those magazines, because otherwise you'll end up with a board that's pretty surfacey and probably not who you truly are in your most authentic self. So the next place to start, before you even get out the poster board, is with the magazines. Try to find as many magazines as possible. And then when you're in that process of picking out images, light a candle, put on music, and just let yourself dream. And this is where you pull out any image that speaks to you. This is where your deepest, wisest self speaks to you, because it speaks through images. It's not always a verbal thing. It's very much an image, a vision, and you don't always have it up here as to why you're going to choose these images. But this is where you just get to let loose, rip out photos, and pick whatever you want and create a giant stack next to you of as many photos, and also don't forget words as well. Okay, so the next part of doing a vision board is where you just go through those photos and really start to ask yourself, does this really speak to me? Does this speak to that be, do, have list that I did before this? This is where you have to learn to trust yourself. And people often say to me, how do I develop my intuition? How do I know what I want to do as opposed to what's just a surfacey dream? And one of the only ways I know to learn how to develop your intuition is to actually take action and choose and make decisions. This is where you get to really be creative, because you just lay it out on the board. You don't have to paste it down yet, but let yourself play. This is where you just enjoy, have fun, be playful. And we at the Unstoppable Power of Intention retreats, we actually spend a full afternoon doing this. Really a peaceful, quiet place, and it's playful, it's fun. They try not to get, I really try to encourage people not to be too dramatic about it, because it can be that perfect opportunity for your perfectionist to show up and, make it so that it's judging you or saying you shouldn't want that, or that's not in alignment with what you should be doing, and all those should voices come up. Then this is the perfect time to just tell it to go away and lay out those visions, and not until they are laid out in that way that you know is right, and you'll feel it. It'll be like a click. It'll be like a tiny little chink that happens, and that's when you know it's time to start the pasting process. The way to finish it up is to put a beautiful, radiant photo of yourself smack dab in the center of that vision board. So the last part of the vision board is putting it up in your house or in your office or in a walk-in closet where you can see it every day, because what that starts to do is that it slowly penetrates your subconscious. You're seeing this image every day. It's reminding you what you want to pull into your life, what you want more of. Because a lot of times when we want to create something new, it's actually a paradigm shift. We're actually leaving behind where we are right now and calling in something bigger and bolder a lot of times for ourselves. And when you are surrounded by all of the old things that you've ever attracted into your life, it can be hard to get any of those new visuals into your subconscious, which is where a vision board comes in. And it's a tool. It's one of many kinds of tools like this that you can use to start creating better outcomes in your life. So the last thing I want to let you know about is a free ebook that I created. It's called The Complete Guide to Vision Boards, and it's available on my website absolutely for free. It's part of what I call the Get Inspired, Live Creative Triple Pack, and you can read all about vision boards, including some first-hand stories from people of how a vision board changed their life, and including my story with vision boards, which is pretty spectacular as well. So just go to ChristineCaine.com and download the Get Inspired, Live Creative Triple Pack. Thanks!